name changers as well as Cloud9. So
Sure.
right now, you could argue that this team's by far ahead. But there's one thing we do know is that this complexity team, or old complexity team, now M&M, is very, very strong. But we're going to go ahead and take a look at the COG roster here, who are no slouch either. They definitely had a good battle throughout the entire qualifiers.
Well, here they are. A couple players to watch out of this one. Mask seems to be definitely has a bid to be a player here, a player of note in the North American Pro League. Coming out of the jungle, has been pretty successful. You see some Herwin, Meerkat both have had their time in competitive Smite. Mask and Jigs, kind of known for being really high-ranked players.
Yeah.
But haven't had too much success necessarily in the Pro League as of yet. But here you see a little bit of Mask doing what he do. Obviously, when you get Circat, you're always pretty pleased with how your draft went. But
yeah. But, when you do get Circuit, you also have to follow up with that play style as well.
Sure.
Which, is a little bit different than a lot of the other junglers. Yeah, it's not, because it's like you feel that you can do so much more than you really can early on just because the last game ends and you just blew everyone up so early on. You're like, oh.
Right, yeah.
Half health.
She definitely has that kind of velocitation, like when you come off the highway and driving on country roads and all of a sudden you're still going 70 and you don't realize it. Yeah, you like that?
See what you did there?
Let's take a look at MM. Melior, Morior, the Mines of Moria, and the Border of Mordor. It's Lord of the Rings team, guys. Melior, Morior. It's Cyclone's been allied Incon, Kiki, so cheeky, and Weaken. And, well, there's a lot to talk about on this team. But let's take a look at Cyclone Spin, who has been the latest addition to this roster and has definitely stirred things up in the solo lane, I think, across both North America and Europe.
Look at his KDA. His KDA is 10.7. To put that in perspective, Boosh last year went 9.9. Granted, it was over much more games that he went 9.9, which is just as impressive. But to be 10.7 at any point in the season is like, whoa.
Yeah, it's only a couple games, but it's doing pretty well for him.
Him and Divios came into my chat last night, and Divios goes, no, he's a jungler who just stays in lane for entirely too long.
Let me pick up those names for you. Yeah, you dropped them.
I did. I did. Hey, but it was just funny to see two solo laners kind of interact and be like, well, yeah, I am kind of a jungler with my gun.
He does. He plays jungler.
It was like a weird realization for him.
Man, well, what's the next? Bumbus Mask out of this guy?
Yeah.
We'll see. Who knows? Let's see how the picks and bans go down, guys. M&M versus Cognitive Prime. Game 1 coming your way now.
So, Bart, give me a pre-picks bans prediction. I'm going to throw you under the hot seat. Who's the first pick?
Ooh.
First
Before
pick,
any bans come out, I have my eyes closed. The first pick will be Athena.
Okay. So, Arachne banned out here. Don't want to deal with the single target damage, which is weird because Weaken kind of created Arachne towards the end of Season 1. So Hunbats gets taken out. No shocker at all. Cyclone Spin is just running a terror on everyone with this god in the solo lane. So, Athena, you think you got it?
I still like the Athena. We'll see. Ooh.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
They respect Mask here. Do the boys of M&M.
So now this has to be an Athena, right? Or who do they favor? Oh, okay. Thor.
Ban Thor.
That's, dude.
I don't know. I don't know if we can. I think I get the Athena
now,
first.
Incon is head over heels in love with Athena.
I know. That's why I selected Athena as the number 1 pick. I can't bear the suspense any longer. What will it be?
Yeah.
Oh, yes! Basket.
Also really good. So, traditionally, we always see Bastet. She's a jungler. She jumps on people. She kills them. This is M&M, though. So this could very well be a solo lane Bastet.
Yeah, that's right. But it will leave open the Circuit, which is definitely going to be your first pick for Mask.
That's really important, too.
Surprised that they would rather deal with Circuit than Arachne. Of the bug ladies, Circuit generally the more powerful.
The bug ladies, yeah. So, second pick here.
So now they're thinking, do we pick Athena here or no?
Yeah. Which could work. So they prioritize Sylvanas over Athena, though. So this, to me, shows that M&M should be grabbing Athena unless they are prioritizing their Hunter as well as their mid lane. But it's kind of weird because you don't want to go and grab Xbalanque early and then Cupid get picked up.
This should be the Cupid pick. If they're going to take their Hunter here, it would be Cupid. As he doesn't have really the same natural predators that Xbalanque does. Yeah. So
we could also see that they favor kind of Kiki in this as well. We've only traditionally seen one good god in the mid lane out of Kiki, which is Poseidon.
Sure. Well, we're going to see something new here today, potentially, because that's an ISIS drafted.
Nice.
By
All right,
Mines and
so
Morior.
ISIS, I'm not sure if this god will ever be played to her full potential in the SPL.
ISIS.
Yeah. I don't know if she ever will be.
Well, what does her full potential look like, and what are we seeing here and now?
I think her full potential is someone utilizing the ultimate in a way that just completely blows people's mind away, which every time we kind of see ISIS get played, it's ults thrown down, not defensive or aggressive at all besides early on, and then it's just a part of the kit that no one uses.
Right, sure. The space control kind of
Which
style.
it's really hard. It's not a knock at the pro players. It's just really hard to get off in a competitive setting.
Clever ban from Cognitive. They take out the Odin. They don't want to deal with that Wombo combo. Cupid, they did draft on their side as well, and now the final ban from Melior Morior.
I can't wait to hear you try to say it when you're talking fast.
I will definitely not.
M and M.
It's going to be M&M, because I've been saying that since I was a babby.
Mm-hmm.
A wee little one.
Bakasura gets taken out as well.
I actually asked. I was like, what do you want me to call this team in short? And they're kind of just like, whatever you can kind of get out. So M&M it is, boys.
Yep. So now that's big for them. Cognitive is going to go ahead and grab Poseidon, which, by the way, first time casting Cognitive, it feels like, the SPL, I'm expecting to look up and say, like, Prime or Red. It's just Cognitive. It's
Cognitive
quite
gaming.
nice.
Back to the olden days. Poseidon. So I think Cognitive's getting a lot of maybe the better of the draft here. I mean, as Rom gets locked in, it's hard to say it's not in their favor here. As Poseidon, Cupid, a lot of synergy there. Sylvanas, obviously, pretty good with any kind of AoE comp, and Serket to bring the pain.
Oh,
It's gonna
no.
be a Thanatos.
Oh,
Thanatos. Looking for his first win and maybe ever, it seems like.
Fun fact, Weekend actually was one of the 3 players who won with Thanatos last season.
Wow, only 3 players won a game with Thanatos last season?
3 players.
And it was in, 4 games they won total? Yeah, maybe 3 games even.
Yeah, no, I think he only had 3 wins throughout the entire SPL. And then there was a final, right in that midweek, or that bye week, right? Everyone was like, okay, we can't play Thanatos anymore.
What are they going to do on the side of Cognitive now? Like, do they look to take it late with a pickup? Kind of, yeah. Vamana.
Ish, yeah? Okay.
Vamana, a late game god. No real natural predators. No one that's really too comfortable outside of the Athena building anti-heal. Maybe the Rom can go for like the unicorn build with the brawlers, but he's going to be tough to shut down, especially considering you have to really consider your positioning in these fights with a Poseidon Cupid Sylvanas combination on the side of Cog. So maybe it's going to be a tough game for Melior Morior looking at the picks here.
Yep. So M&M has kind of 2 options when you're looking at the Thanatos. Weekend can decide to go heavy hammer, go for a straight invade, and be a thorn in the side of Cognitive Gaming, or he can go Bumbas, split camps, play a little passive, and then inevitably watch Thanatos kind of fall off as the game progresses. He has to be super aggressive throughout the entire duration of the game, and he actually goes Death Toll, which is the medium between my 2 extremes. So that's that.
Well, you were in some ways you were right. Let's go ahead and introduce your team,
Thanks,
guys.
babe.
The blue team, they are known as Melior Morior. They were formerly known as Complexity, before that known as Snipe. It's Cyclone Spin as your solo lane Bastet. Weekend in the jungle as Thanatos. Kiki So Cheeky in the mid lane as Isis. Incontinentia and Allied will be your duo lane as Athena and Rom. Across the way with the red trunks, they are Cognitive Gaming. A new Cognitive Gaming for those of you that are just joining us here in Season 2. This time it's Meerkat, who's going to be your solo lane Vamana. Mask, player to watch in the jungle on Serket. Hurlwind is your Poseidon mid lane, and then that leaves Jigs and Famous Hate to be your dual lane Sylvanas Cupid.
It's so funny watching the teams at the beginning of the game stroll around the jungle looking for like a 5-on-5. It's a scene out of West Side
Almost
Story.
never happens.
Never. And you would
Which
think
is
it
curious.
would.
Yeah.
Because no one's running around in 5s throwing down wards over on the Fire Giant side, right? That doesn't happen.
Right.
So, interestingly enough, it looks like Cognitive might actually be starting at the back camps with Serket and Vermana, as well as across the way with Poseidon, Sylvanas, Cupid. So they're going to try to get as max XP as possible, which they're not going to see the fact that their blue is just going to be taken. This is what M&M does every single game we have ever casted. They run straight in, take your blue, go to lane, call it a day.
Mr. Steal your blue. Yeah, look, they're still working on the buff over here.
Yeah, this is a very, very slow clear. And you can just see Weekend he walks up, he's like, hey, you guys want to fight?
Not a single in-hand even bothered to be thrown there by Weekend. So, well, they get blue buff nonetheless. They put Famana in a bit of an awkward spot as Batzet's going to be able to spam out those dots and start whittling away.
Fortunately for him, he does have Bluestone Pendant, which is a gift to him. But what is going to be interesting is how Bastet matches up versus Vamana. She might be able to force out Colossal Furies just by, throwing out the cats.
Well, hats off to Cognitive Gaming here. They've made the best out of kind of their knowledge. They went Bluestone on Vamana first, expecting not to get the blue buff, and they started the back camps into their orange buff. So they deal with it fairly well as you really can deal with it, I think.
Yep, so taking a look at the mid lane here. Isis, great clear early on. Poseidon, just as good of clear as well. But Isis, there's something about her that makes those wing gusts, if you get hit with 2 of those, your health is just gone.
Yeah, like any ability that hits multiple times, it scales higher than most single hit abilities in the game. So that yields very well into her superior lane clear. Oh, my God. Mask erased.
That is Thanatos, and that is Thanatos played by Weekend. So Weekend now is going to go ahead and split the camps with Cyclone. He already got a kill. They shoved that lane, forcing Meerkat to stay in there. He has no chance of invading, and even if he did, he wouldn't take it because he would probably just get killed anyway. So split this XP, head back into lane with a little bit of advantage, and only miss a couple creeps. Worth.
That is a first blood for Melior and Morior there. To play Mr. Obvious here. They secure that one, but maybe more importantly, secured onto a Thanatos. They get him going. And, well, it's been a while since I've been commentating a game in which I thought Thanatos had a good shot of actually doing well.
He's ulted.
With an early kill there. Oh, he's taken to the sky. Has Thanatos looking at the mid lane. Ain't going to find too much. Scooting out of there nice and quick was Heroine's Poseidon. And, well, first ultimate does not yield a kill as he would have hoped for, but still have an opportunity here to smack around the Sylvanas a bit this weekend.
Yeah, well, fortunately for Sylvanas, he has a very awesome passive, which has a chance of getting you stunned. Weekend now has Sercat. That's a Kraken. Kraken takes him out. Incon now trying to run away. Jigs pulls him in. Mask is continuing to chase. The dash is there. Mask trying to get some poison on him. He's going to try to get out of this one, and Incon will live.
Well, there's the old Isis ultimate being used to zone there.
Yeah.
So you called for it, and there it was. But yeah, you can see just how effective that ability can be at zoning and kind of drawing a line in the sand, if you will.
It's one of the more complex abilities that we have in the game.
Yes, the tooltip is exceptionally long for this ability.
Yeah,
basically what it does is
it's a novel.
Based on the amount of damage that is being dealt from units that originate within the ring to units either in or outside of the ring, or damage dealt to those targets that are within the ring, it starts to build up damage that then going to be bursted and also heals friendlies. But there's a fight going down here. Jigs, he is going to take a spill as a nicely timed Spirit Bomb comes through to complete the CC chain. Kiki, so cheeky, through the wall there. And that's the second blood as well. But one kill did go back to the side of Cognitive Gaming. They secure that kill on the Thanatos that we saw earlier. So they're on the board here, but advantage MM.
Yep. One thing that's important to note is I'm actually seeing a little bit of deviation coming out of Incon. Meerkat forced into an ultimate, and he just gets annihilated. Cyclone Spin and Weekend are pretty much connected at the hip if you watch any of Weekend streams or any of his videos or even his tweets.
Or if you watch him sleep like Scott does.
Yeah, I do. I watch them both sleep because they're attached to the hip. So take that in. They actually use bunk beds. They're a younger version of Will Ferrell and, what's his name?
John C. Reilly.
Yeah, John C. Reilly. Take it.
There you go. Dr. Brule.
They're Eminem brothers.
They're brothers in the M&Ms. Weekend, well, he's not having the best time there as he's poisoned up, but is perfectly happy to have a 1 kill and 2 assists to his name 5 minutes in. You always want to see, 3-4 kills in the first 5 minutes of the game for Thanos at least being involved in that many to make sure that he's off to that good start. And ideally secure him a camp seal or 2 to make sure he's just a bit ahead of the enemy jungler. But with the first blood on 2 masks, they've already kind of accomplished that, has MM.
Isn't this just becoming traditional MM gameplay? Is early on, this is Cyclone Spin destroying his opposition, and then it kind of translates, and then you get some good rotations out of Incon, and then it's just the game ends.
That was like the most resigned good rotations out of Incon call of all time.
Well,
Like,
it's just,
and then he comes and the whole thing just ends.
The point is that he doesn't even have to rotate, it seems.
Sure.
Because Cyclone, he didn't die last week, man.
Well, definitely not on the Athena, right? They're very. He doesn't have to leave his lane for a long time or in the mid lane if he chooses. That ultimate, obviously, global repositioning allows him to kind of play a more aggressive game. But old Meerkat there, just trying to survive this one, it seems, now on the Vamana, as Vamanas do. Not really a kind of stand in the lane and fight you presence, really more of looking to safely clear, build mid-game items, and river dance on people with 6 items later on.
So Jigs now rotates into the mid lane, starting to clear that out. Weaken, trying to decide if what he wants to do. We see Ally just trying to get up a little bit, but he's in fact going to be pushed out. Mid Harp's coming up, second rotation of these. Vamana looking to try to contest the right ones. Left side's going to go flat to Eminem though.
Yeah, that one goes quick. And now with the angle, Weekend, he thinks about going in, but realizes he's fighting into a Sylvanas. He's got a lot of CC. Plus, there's 4 members of COG Gaming here, and they're going to make a play. That miss? Oh, man, barely off the mark there. Kraken comes out as well. Not too much damage being dealt. They will take Kiki. But that's about it. As Thanatos comes raining in, there's some Rom shots as well flying in from the dual lane there. And Weekend right on top of Meerkat. Slow down a bit. Allied, decent angle here to put in some more damage. The Mez off the mark. Rom shots coming through, slowing down the target, but Weekend no longer there. Cyclone Spin dunks that one home, securing the kill with the kitty over the top. It's 6 kills to 2 in favor of MM.
And now we're going to see them go ahead and
Senpai. He may be some trouble here.
How is he alive? What does he?
He knew, dude. He did the math.
Yeah, I guess so.
He knew.
Yeah, that 15 stacks on Dev Club's worth it.
Not there. There you go. A little life steal. Did
That's
it.
That's it. That's all it was.
Cyclone Spin just finds himself a gift there and jumps in and picks it up. My God.
Yeah, that's it. So COG just had that depressive moment where they look at Gold Fury and they go, oh yeah, there's no way in hell we can take this. And now Incon's going to see him start this up. He's going to call it out to the team. He's actually low. They should be able to get this. I don't see there's any way as Eminem's going to be able to contest this.
That's a big Spirit Ball. It hits one. The Wing Gust coming through as well. No, Cognitive Gaming sees an opportunity. It takes it. Jigs dodges the silence, but will not dodge his inevitable death. But that's okay. They get the Gold Fury. However, it is 4 kills now on the back of Cyclone Spin with a what must be a Transcendence Bastet. One would assume here. Gold, as you see, pretty much even out, but experience still favoring Melior. Excuse me there. As the little bit of the PAX comes out of me.
Dude, it's so bad. There's so many people. There's just so many people at PAX. My nose is just running. There's nothing I can do about it. It's conventions, man. They get the best of you.
I'm drinking scalding hot tea every single chance I get to not speak, to try to keep. If you're wondering why I've been a little bit depressed in terms of volume here, it's due to the fact that I think my throat will bleed if I go any louder than this lovely cajoling that I'm doing for you here.
Yeah. So now Incon's strolling around here. Allied's going to be pushing out. They're going to go for the purple buff. Red buff's up as well. Probably going to see Isis stick around for maybe another wave, finish this one out, make sure she soaks up the experience, and then she's going to go ahead and head over to the red buff as well. But right now, Eminem does have a lead. Taking a look at the stats, 3,000 experience, only 65 gold, though.
One of the things that, like, give you an idea of how this game is going, right? Vamana is playing this kind of let me stall out the lane and just get my farm and be a factor later on. Cyclone Spin's been roaming the map and finding kills, now 4 to his credit, but also 2 deaths with no kills onto that Vamana on his rotation. So when he has left the lane, he hasn't gotten anything out of it. In fact, he's died a couple times. It's just putting him further and further behind, especially given the style that he's trying to play. Cyclone Spin's beating him in his own game, plus a whole nother game of finding kills in other lanes.
So the TLDR of that is that Cyclone Spin is way ahead, and we're going to need to see a lot of big rotations coming out of Meerkat. So Gold Fury is going to be up in 3 minutes. There's nothing that's really going to provoke a fight here with the exception of mid Harpies, which Eminem's just going to secure very easily. Cirquette, a.k.a. Mask, nowhere to be found. Mask is at this point now, so when you take a look at the items, he's getting ready to finish Jotuns. He's got the mace. That'll be his item that he builds next, which is going to help him out a lot. Jakes jumps in, misses the ultimate, and now we're going to see Incon right there. Ultimate comes down from Kiki. Weekend comes crashing in. There's one. Looking for a second. Cyclone Spin gets a double. Cyclone Spin looking for the triple. He's on the backside. Forces out the ultimate. And just like that, Cyclone Spin, big rotation, finds himself 6-0.
Well, he has his Jotuns draft already done, and as you mentioned, Cirquette still working on that tier 2 of the Jotuns draft. Thanatos also a little bit more advanced, as you would expect out of Cirquette, but kind of to your earlier comments on, Cyclone Spin is really just the second jungler for this team. He has a jungle-oriented build. Normally, you may see the Transcendence come out before the Jotuns on a Bastet from the Soul Lane, but he's making it work for him with those rotations, continuing to pay dividends 6-0.
He also loves spamming abilities, so just getting that little bit of extra mana on the Jotuns immediately, he helps him out.
Well, Weekend, his window is starting to get a little bit more closed on the Thanatos here. He's gonna survive. But not for long as
yeah,
Mask,
that window got shut.
Yeah, that window closed right away. But Mask getting credit for the kill. Good for him. Good news there. Gets kill credit onto a level 11 Thanatos there. Has his Jotuns done now. And is in a much happier place overall. Being at 2-2. And getting a little injection of farm. Desperately needing it.
He needs, in this life, you really want to see Mask get at least another kill or two, which is going to help him get his crit online, which is really, really important for Cirquette. Once he has the Deathbringer online, which will be his next item, 100%, he will then be able to 100-0 targets. Kiki forced into Aegis there. Athena coming in. That's going to be Incon. Big taunt. The ultimate comes down. He's got the taunt coming in. He's going to get tower shots, but will be enough to kill. He is, and Incon still getting kills. Cyclone Spin's here again, Bart.
Yeah, Jigs goes down once again to Cyclone Spin, who's 7-0 in this game. Unstoppable. And some just absolutely silly, absurd number of kills to deaths overall. Now up to something like 23 kills before dying so far in the Pro League.
That's the dream. That is the dream, which is weird because as soon as they qualified and we did that show match between Name Changers and him, he brought Shablanque. Oh, no, before qualifiers. He brought Shablanque in lane versus the Hades of Divios.
And got stomped.
Yeah, and right after he goes, I'm never looking at a Hunter in the solo lane again.
Oh, Hades.
Which that's been an interesting transition for him, is that his God pull last year was like the entire game of Smite, and now he's kind of limited down to about 5 or 6 gods.
It feels a little bit maybe like it's a self-imposed limitation, though. Like, let me just master a few here. I'm still going to be a nightmare in the picks and bans, but there's no need to try to keep everything in that fighting condition. Let's focus on a few things and make sure we do it great.
Yeah. Gold Fury's now up mid. Harpy's coming up as well. M&M should have the timers for this. No priority in rotating over for this, though, as Kiki will be a little bit slow here. Spirit Ball is going to come out. It's going to connect. Incon charges up, and they actually reset these Harpies. That is huge.
Yeah, they now go the way of MM, so.
They were behind like 10 seconds on that.
Yeah, yeah.
And they still came out on top.
Yeah, that's just a little luck factor into that one. Or maybe you could call that a misplay by Cognitive Prime, but MM comes up in force, and they take that one away and continue to edge ahead here. Well, in experience at least. The gold still pretty even. Cognitive Gaming, with that gold Fury to their credit, has kept this one damn near even. 11-4 in kills, though. A little bit similar story to what we saw last game. Big experience lead for MM off those kills, but the gold kept in check by some objective play out of the other team. And, well, Cognitive, they have their work cut out for him here. The levels, who does Mask kill now that everyone has so much damn HP from their levels? That's kind of the question I have, is how does he really become a big factor in this game?
It's not going to be easy. That's for sure. Mask just has to really jump on. His main target is going to be Cyclone Spin, but Cyclone Spin has Beads 3, and he has a Pounce and his Kitty Cats. It's going to be very tough. He's going to get jumped on here, but luckily he has an ultimate that takes him into the sky.
Well, and he is here, and he's looking for a play. It's going to be the backside play on the Meerkat, but they are not liking the Thanatos, our Cognitive Gaming. They immediately dump their ultimates into him. Kiki's going to explode to that Circuit Poison. Looks like he did spread it to Incon as well, but it's going to wear off before Incon goes down. He dashes into a wall, gets cleaned up now, and Famous Hate finds himself a triple in the midst of all of that.
Wow.
Continues to try to duel Allied. and definitely got the better of that engagement. Cognitive.
Cyclone needs to get out of here.
Uh-oh. Are you going to do it? Oh,
Allied.
Allied. He falls back, but he wasn't. He was gone, but not yet dead. Cyclone Spin tries to make a play, and he's going to feed back a big kill streak now, as it's 4 members traded for just 2. Cognitive Gaming comes out ahead here, but Allied holds them off from the Gold Fury, at least for a moment. Can he keep them from getting it long enough for the team to rally? Pops his attack speed stem, kind of.
He can do it. He can 100% turn on her if he wants to. But
without
the big
mana,
thing
it's
there,
risky.
yeah, but the big thing was that he delayed that back from happening, which is huge. But speaking of Allied, 1-0-5. I don't know if it's Rom or his positioning or what it is, but you almost think he would have more of an impact on these team fights. But then again, it's really hard to get kills when you're
He's involved in
Cyclone
6 of the 13 total kills. It could be worse. You know, Weekend probably having the harder game, but he's been involved in 8 of the 13 kills. 3 to his credit, he's been eating a lot of ultimates. Now they try to make a play on the Jigs here. They take the Gold Fury aggro.
They need the taunt.
Yeah, they need something. Oh, there we go.
Ah, nice
right up,
job.
right down. Weekend takes the elevator and finds himself a kill there. As the rest of Cognitive, seems like it took forever for Cognitive to rally to that.
Yeah. And now we're going to have this weird kind of delayed stalemate as Cyclone's been farming up the back Harpies. And kind of comes in, hits the taunt. He's got it there. Spirit Ball's going to come in. It connects. This could be a kill on Heroine. This is going to be very important. Kraken comes down. Ultimate down as well for Kiki. Incon, he's waiting for his teammates. They're not there yet. Finally, they're here. Forced out the ultimate to Meerkat. That will be the end.
For Kiki. All he wanted there was to get off his ultimate. Does get it off, but it doesn't, and not in time to heal him. It does, however, kill with the side, so he gets credit for that one. As Mask, well, he feels the sting of the Bastet Razor Lash. As Transcendence is going to be coming online fairly soon for Cyclospin's Bastet, and that's when it gets even more scary. Kind of the second power spike coming after Yogi's Wrath is completed.
Absolutely. So now, looking at it, Sprint 3 not up yet on Poseidon. He could go into Heavenly Agility, but as I stated in the last cast, or in the previous game, Sprint 3 works very, very well with Poseidon just because it procs that Trident and you can chase down so many people. So definitely that Weakening Curse coming out for Athena, a.k.a. Incon, definitely a good choice. He'll probably finish the Sovereignty and then look to go into Heartward Amulet and be the main tank for this team. Eminem loves having as many frontliners as possible, which is why it's interesting that we're not seeing a Hercules jungle coming out of Weekend. But
Something they've been practicing, certainly.
yeah.
Yeah, the Thanatos, I mean, once again, really doesn't seem to be a great pick. I mean, he's not...
Yeah.
I granted, it gets him that kill early that probably most other gods aren't able to secure because he just does so much damage, but now into the mid-game, he just isn't really having much of an impact that any other jungler wouldn't have, just kind of being around and doing damage. But the fight's breaking out with the Gold Fury. Doesn't look like we're going to see too much action outside of Kiki, maybe once again taking a spill. He's fighting inside the circle of protection. He eats the Kraken. He heals himself back up. He's trying to bail. But unfortunately, he doesn't have the presence of mind to get masked with that Spirit Ball. Could have maybe picked up a kill into the Circuit before this one was all said and done. Another Death Sight goes out. It hits Meerkat, but I doubt they run this one down. They can try.
I think they're going for it.
Well, Cyclospin burned the slow already into Meerkat. You can see just how fast he's healing up. Incon going to come back in on this one, but that's going to end the aggression, at least for the moment.
Allied now is just going to shove this lane. He's got full Dev Gloves stacked. He's got an Executioner to his name as well. He's full health. He's not feeling bad at all. Now, across the way, Cupid, same thing, except he went Ikavol. Now, I don't really know what's the flavor now amongst the pros, but I really enjoy seeing Ikavol get picked up. As soon as I see that, I go, okay, this guy's looking to box me.
Yeah, they want to fight. It's time to fight. Incon, he charges forward, takes a Heart Bomb, and some harass for his time. Jigs, already a little low on mana as well. They're going to bop the cats onto him. And yeah, that's an easy kill. Wow, he just went down like paper to the cats there. Allied, he finds himself into a pretty bad position, honestly. He pops, that spreads the poison, but in comes the dunk from Weekend. He finally makes his name known as he finds himself 2 kills there. I don't think it's credit for the double kill, but sets both of those bad boys up with his ultimate. And Incon manages to escape out of that one. Only Allied goes down, and this will be the Gold Fury going back towards Melior Morior here at about the 20-minute mark as they clean this one up.
Yeah, this is pretty routine for them. Now we're going to see Thanatos 1250 gold in hand. He's going to go back with even more, make that 1565. Bastet with 1140. So we're starting to see that next level of item kind of come out here. And Fields of Love's going to come down. This should be a kill. Yep, famous hit. Able to pick that one up, which is going to be big. Kind of accelerates that process on Cupid's next item.
Yeah, his ultimate is down, though. Oh, he's going to try to make a play for this tower. Weekend Weekend.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
that's why you don't see a lot of Thanatos.
He's very
Squishy.
For me, he just seems underwhelming. You always hear the idea of Thanatos, and you've gone against him in a casual game where he spirals out of control.
Right.
I just never see anyone spiral out of control.
He's just such a...
Like, if Andenstur goes Thanatos, I'll probably have my eye on it, right? Because
Yeah.
he's a mechanical god. But I'm just not sure.
Well, it seems a lot like the Thanatos pick. It's definitely focused on getting Cyclone Spin ahead, right? You saw it work. They did that, but what are they going to get out of the mid game? Is it going to be enough to beat Cognitive Gaming? Have they built a hole for Cognitive that's large enough? It's all experience right now. Cognitive continues to lead the XP chart, but is there going to be a tipping point this game in which Cognitive is able to take it away? The XP is starting to kind of erode as well. Now down to about 3,000 in favor of MM. Yep. They've stalled out here,
which is great for a cop.
Right, yeah, not a look that you are normally seeing out of this team. They usually are pretty decent closers, but maybe that Bastet Thanatos pick indicating that it's difficult to transition those gods into the late game. Maybe they're struggling a bit with figuring out how to do it.
Yeah. So now the next point of contention should be the Fire Giant here. Golden Hand, 1,800 for Poseidon. He's going to go ahead and clear that up. He's going to head back there and start. He's going to probably finish this Chronos Pendant right away, which just means more everything. More Krakens, more Tridents. It's going to be very, very good for him. So this next team fight with the Poseidon before 25 minutes, when you look across the way, I only see one Aegis and then a couple beads. He might be able to eat Eminem alive.
Oh, he's had no problem just erasing Thanatos in basically every fight.
Oh, yeah, but that's Thanatos, right?
Sure. But even still, I mean,
yeah.
that's a good target to take out of the fight. And
yeah,
the Athena as well,
okay.
no beads. Or Aegis after going for that weakening curse. So a likely target as especially as the Fire Giant comes into contention more and more.
Yep. Meerkat as well has Sprint 3. He's got the Tonko down as well. This is going to be big. He's forced into Colossal Fury. Kitty Cat's come out looking for it. Cyclone Spin knows he's taking the aggro. He's going to continue to aggress. Here comes Incon. He's got the bait. Weaken comes down for the dunk. Cleans that one up. Serket's going to be here. Serket, you got to be careful, sweetheart. Your health is just getting shredded. Zigzag away. Weaken not going to chase. Isis now turning around. She's spotted Poseidon. It's go time.
A little bit off the mark there, honestly. The beads and now a Heavenly Sprint used as well. Heavenly Agility is. Though they're going to re-engage as Eminem. Maybe just a Death Sight from Weekend as Allied. The lone wanderer through the left part of the map slowly makes his way to join the team fight, and then says, "You know what? Screw it. I'm farming."
Yeah, that's kind of Allied in a nutshell, isn't it? Every time there's like a team fight, it's normally on the solo lane or mid lane, solo lane side, and he's just sitting there like, "Okay, guys, I'll be there. 1 second,"
yeah.
And he just leaves lane.
Give me 40 seconds. I'll be there. Fight ends 5 seconds later.
Yeah, and he just shows up to get 1v3'd. Calls it a day.
Well, good news. Thanatos has his Magi's rocking now, so we'll have a little bit more ability to move around in these fights and maybe get off 2 Death Sights before he dies instead of just a 1. But kind of has recovered this game fairly well as Weekend now 5, 4, and 7. But all hands still are reaching to try to catch up to Cyclone Spin's 10, 1, and 5 here now. As Titan's Bane's been completed, he is a... and now if you're a mage, you get hit by the Razor Whip, the number 2 out of Bastet, half your HP is gone.
Yep. He's doing 17,000 player damage. Next highest, surprisingly enough, is actually Allied. He's got 12,000 there, and that's really just from Astral Barrage.
Yeah,
he's done very, very well in the team fights with those.
He's been smacking jigs around with that bad boy this whole game. Seems like every time they get an opportunity, they just dump into jigs as Sylvanas, and then that Rom ultimate does quite a bit as well during those engagements. So, well played to young Allied. Granted, it's 5,000 out of a total of about 17,000 damage behind the Bastet, but still good enough for number 2 overall. And well, you see Bastet leading the net worth charts as well, and really all relevant charts going the way of Cyclone Spin with a start and mid-game follow-up that he's had so far.
Gold Fury getting ready to come up. About 10 seconds here. We're going to see Incon play with the ward games here. He's going to dash away. Now, if they don't unfortunately for COG, they have no wards on the Gold Fury. And now Mask is going to get caught. Mask's health is just going to be taken out. Wigan goes to the sky. He's looking for the dunk. And down he goes. That's going to be 1. That should be a free Gold Fury if they want to go for it. They might just go with this tier 1, though. There's no reason
get a little
for them
map
to
control
not.
maybe off of this push. Well, it's always risky to try to take towers in Smite. The clear out of the mages is just so effective that you're pretty much always going to be fighting into just the tower without your minion wave. And now they've well, I don't want to say wasted, but certainly have taken their time. Here comes the initiation forward. Jigs finds the backline, gets the knock up on the one, and that's going to be the target Meerkat tries to run down. In the meantime, Weekend looking for Heroin on the backside. He gets Krakened as well. As the tower does fall, now can MM either find more kills or escape this one gracefully. Weekend still quite low. Cupid looking for that shot. The silence. Oh my goodness.
Way.
Allied.
No way.
Teammate out. The silence doing work there as they clean up that kill, and Weekend somehow escapes with his life. He's got to be thanking his buddy there for that one.
Yeah, that was gnarly.
Yeah.
The Allied's crushing it. And this is, I was really interested to see what was going to happen with the ROM pick because we haven't seen that much of it. We've seen it, we saw it earlier today, but overall, I feel like he's just kind of been phased out, and I would love to see him come back into the rotation. Would love to. You know who else I haven't seen Allied play is Freya.
Freya.
That was his girl. His babe. That was bae. That was bae before Cupid.
That's right. But no longer so much in favor as Freya.
Yeah.
Although I think she has.
I think people honestly just forgot about her.
She's a chance, I think. Well, she ate some nerfs overall. Also, the Witchblade nerf didn't help her out much either. But still brings a lot of damage to the table, obviously.
Yep. So buffs now going in favor here of M&M as we will see Cog try to clear out their jungle as well. You'll see Poseidon grab his red, and then we'll see Cupid grab his purple. On this side of things, though, we will see the blue go to Cyclone Spin because why not at this point? And now here comes Weekend. He's got Jigs right in front of him. He's going to be able to harass for sure. Incon's going to be here as well. He's waiting for the guaranteed death sight, and you can just see how much health it does to Jigs.
Well, now trying to kind of push back the rest of MM are Cognitive Gaming. The Kitties
He's
are
going.
out. And
he's going in for this part.
Has a nice angle here. He's going to find a taunt when he wants it. There's the knock-up. Doesn't matter. Allied about to hold the famous hit before the CC comes through. Meerkat stunned in place. Allied continuing to do tons of damage. Presses the gas pedal. And they kill the Vamana as well. Jigs is going to fall here. He's going to pluck one forward. But Weekend still too healthy. Allied and Kiki wanted to make the cheeky play there and pluck a little bit more. But Incon, he's going to fall back to the well. He's going to ult right back into this one on top of Weekend. Get the aggro, and away we go. Fire Giant started by MM, and, well, Cognitive's got their work cut out for him to stop this one.
Yep, this is going to be very, very tough. They should be able to zone pretty much just alone with Thanatos here. Incon's able to take out Mass. That's going to be the Fire Giant going in favor of them as he goes directly onto the Hot Pursuit. Now, they have a lot of gold in hand. Pretty much every single member of M&M has over 1,000 gold in hand, but it looks like they are going to continue to push here and just accumulate more and more money. Titan's Bane out for Thanatos. He will be shredding through towers as well as anyone on this enemy team. He just has to stay alive. This very well could be the final push.
Yeah, if Cognitive drops more than a couple kills here, ooh, Basket. She's going to go for the backdoor here on the tier 2 with the Kitties. And with that Titan's Bane to her credit as well, it should be a
free range Kitties, man.
Pretty easy opportunity for old Cyclone Spin here. And he takes down that tier 2 as well, which does represent the final tower remaining in the middle or right side of the map. And well, the final towers on the left side have started being assaulted by the 4-man squad of MM as they make their way to the tier 2. They want to take this, and they will be uncontested. Yeah. Just trying to hold the bases, Cog.
Yeah, Cog's happy with just kind of eating up the minions that have pushed down the solo lane, right? Mm-hmm. But by the way, off the record, how great would Trailer Park's skin be on Bastet? Just the kitties.
Some good kitties?
Yeah, just some free-range kitties.
Free-range kitties.
So 28 minutes into this game here, Fire Giant still on. 2,900 gold is what Weekend will be going back to base with. He's going to buy himself a Spirit Robe. So Magi's Blessing on top of a Spirit Robe. He's got a lot of protection. So he'll be able to stay in the fight for a little bit longer. And he has successfully made it past 25 minutes as it stands without losing the game, which is completely different than any Thanatos we saw last year.
Well, as you saw those graphs, you notice just how big the advantage has risen now for MM, and it's kind of the, I guess the existential or the the stoic philosophy graph where it's like everything you did before doesn't matter because look how small it is in comparison.
Yeah, for sure.
To the lead now.
Yeah.
And that's definitely what we've seen here. Basically, everything that happened in the last 20 minutes is now kind of moot, considering the Fire Giant and all the towers have gone the way of MM, and now they have a tremendously large lead, at least on the grass, to try to push into the base with. And, well, pushing to the base is the next objective for them. All of their waypoints are set to that Titan. And there's the
great
ultimate you've been waiting for.
Yep. An offensive ultimate from, that is going to be Kiki. They're going to continue to aggress here. Now in comes Bomana clearing up one. Going in. Incon with a huge taunt. In comes Cyclone Spin looking to finish it up. David Hands with the pants, able to do some damage. Weekend with the double kill. Spirit Ball hits as well. Weekend now rotates out, clears this lane. They're going to go for the complete destruction of all towers.
2 Phoenixes down, the third to fall here. Still 4 members up and running. They still have their ROM, most importantly, here to try to do the damage to the Titan. They don't have the kitties to tank it up, but in goes
they don't need him.
MM versus 2. All they need is ROM to put damage in this Titan, and he is happy to oblige. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, is going to go the way of MM. Titan, no way they hold him off here, especially with the Athena rallying back in. Her dunk may be what ends it here. Oh, just a little bit off the mark there, but
Incon was trying to pad his stats, let's be honest.
Cyclone Spin had his way with those boys from Cognitive.